I'm Toby.
And I'm Savannah.
And this is the Birds of Prey and the Emancipation of One Harley Quinn review from a certain point of view. Man, what a long title. But, Birds of Prey, obviously. Right off the bat, we should say we enjoyed the film. We had a good time. It's definitely better than Suicide Squad, Batman v Superman, Man of Steel, and Justice League. And before anybody gets upset, the only reason I don't like Man of Steel, or I have problems with Man of Steel, is because how much Metropolis gets destroyed. I'm not always somebody that's upset that he kills Zod, because he does that in the first Superman movie and he does it in the comics, so that's part of it. But what I didn't like was how much he let Metropolis get destroyed, especially for his first outing.
Yeah, it's fair.
But we're not here to talk about Man of Steel. We're here to talk about Birds of Prey. I think right off the bat, I think this movie should have been called The Emancipation of One Harley Quinn and The Birds of Prey. Mainly just because when the Birds of Prey, those three women were on the screen, it got a little flat, it got a little boring. It was like, let's just bring back Harley Quinn.
Well, it wasn't even the actresses, it was just something about the way that those scenes were written that it was like, okay, what's the point of this? Get back to Harley.
Right. And
it was almost like they were just shoved into the story in places where it didn't really make sense for them to be there.
They were like filler episodes.
Yeah,
basically, we knew Harley Quinn was going to be a huge part of this movie. I mean, everybody know that going into it. It's just, if you're going to do that, that's fine, but the birds also need to be a big part of this movie.
Since it's called Birds of Prey.
Yeah, they definitely moved the plot along and helped in that fashion, and the fight scene at the end was awesome. But every other scene is just like, all right, like you said, let's bring back Harley. Let's just go back to her. And I get it, Harley needs friends, as Margot Robbie says, so she doesn't want to do a solo movie, which I appreciate. I like that she wants to do a movie with other actors.
But at that point, it's almost like, they should have just done Gotham City Sirens, or,
Well, right, it should have been more screen time sharing. As a Birds of Prey movie, the way you're led with this, you don't really think this is going to be an origin story for the Birds of Prey. You kind of already assume the Birds of Prey are in existence, and Harley's just going to join them.
Yeah.
Like, they're already going to be a crime-fighting trio, and Harley's just gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna go hang out with these chicas, And I wasn't impressed with the costume designs.
I liked Harley's costumes.
Yeah, she always
hers.
has good costumes.
But yeah, the rest of them, I mean, like you said, there's a certain level to which we understand that the way that they were drawn in the comics and stuff isn't really realistic with fighting and modern day dress and stuff. But you can still kind of create similar costumes to the ones in the comics. You don't have to just completely do something,
Well, looking for color schemes and stuff like that. And it was a little sad to not see those. The Huntress I love the Huntress. She's one of she's up there on the top list of my favorite Gotham females. And I love
Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Wow, yeah, just fumbling over that. Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Well, yeah, of course you do. It's Ramona.
Ramona Flowers?
Yeah.
I know Ramona Flowers. So I really enjoy her and all of her movies and her acting. But even she was exciting, don't get me wrong, but it just felt like her parts were kind of like, all right, here's to this until Harley gets to her next destination and we can just go back to her.
And they hinted at her backstory and they showed enough to where you really wanted to see it, but then not enough to where you were satisfied, which I guess is sensible if you eventually want to do a movie just for her,
right,
to tease it. But at the same time, it was kind of frustrating because it's well, I want to see. Actually, I do. I want to see more of this. What's going on?
Right. I didn't like the Black Mask dying at the end, and I especially didn't like that he didn't have his mask on most of the time.
It would have been fine if he didn't have his mask on most of the time. If this was also more of an origin movie for him,
and this is how he becomes the Black Mask.
Yeah, or he, he's starting out as the Black Mask. He's not totally the Black Mask yet. That would have been fine if they hadn't killed him. They could have made it work.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, one of the coolest deaths in a comic book movie. I mean, that was freaking hilarious and awesome. And it's not just because it's Ewan McGregor either. I like the Black Mask villain, and I think that he should have just stayed in and been there again.
Well, and just it's never really a great idea to kill off such a big comic book villain in one movie.
Well, I think by killing off your villain, you're kind of just saying, okay, we kind of don't have hopes for this, and like keep him alive. That always gives me hope that it's something.
Especially when you have Ewan McGregor. I mean, maybe that's why, because they know he's going to be busy the next few years, but.
Right, with the Kenobi TV show, but still, I mean, I feel like they could have done something else with him. Having Victor Zsasz be in that role that he was in was good. It's a good way to just bring in a very backroom character villain that never a mainstream character, is just always kind of there and shows up, and so it's cool to have him there. He was kind of funny throughout the whole film.
That was probably my main complaint, though. My other main complaint, besides, and I didn't put it in our written review actually, but that was probably my other main complaint, was that like all the guys in this movie were kind of like it was weird. It's like they made every guy she interacted with want to like get her drunk and get in her pants, and it was just really weird.
Right,
it was very, I don't know. I was like, I get it. Like, she's a hated person, and like everybody, like all these people have grudges out. They obviously want to kill her. They don't care about her, but it's like, does every single guy she interacts with need to make some kind of weird, creepy, like it's
right? Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong. Not like these. She's obviously in the crime world, and people in Gotham are notoriously terrible, especially the criminals.
Right. Yeah. Especially.
But like, not every single person you interact with is a creeper. So like, can we dial that down a little bit?
Just a little bit, yeah.
Just a little bit.
I wish they would have done more with Black Canary. As much as I love the Huntress, I love the Black Canary even more. And it just looks like every time she uses her Canary Crush, she's gonna get tired and exhausted. And I don't really. I hope that's not what they do, because I don't like that. She should be able to use that, and she could use it in small bursts too, like there. But I mean, other than that, she was a great fighter. She did a good job at all of her fighting. The choreography of the fights were really good.
She was great. I didn't love the hints to her backstory that they, like you said, they made it almost sound more like she was like Dinah Laurel Lance's daughter than Dinah Lance.
Yeah.
Which is kind of annoying. I wish they would have gone with the original Black Canary story, but
fair.
Apparently nobody wants to do that anymore.
Yeah, I guess not. But yeah, that would have been nice. I mean, the movie was so much fun, though.
It was.
It kept me entertained the whole time. It was very well directed, and I mean, it's just those slow parts. Just those fillers where they felt like fillers. Like, fillers are there, and we get it, but there also should be a little bit more, not just plot driving.
Yeah.
Give it a little bit more, like. I love the fact that Harley Quinn was such an unreliable narrator.
Unreliable narrator.
Yeah, I enjoyed that a lot.
It was in a very different way than Joker, though.
Right,
like,
yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix's Joker was very, and I know that they're not in the same
universe,
but his unreliable narrator was like is he making it all up? Is he just crazy and all that? Hers was like,
I forgot this.
Oh, I totally forgot. Like,
let me rewind and go back to this.
Hers is more in a campy way, so it was kind of fun. She was like an unreliable, but in more of a campy.
It was a very fun way to do it. I would go see this movie again if people wanted to go with me and see it. I'd be down to do that. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm a huge fan of Harley Quinn, so I definitely loved it because of how much they did a great job with her backstory. I loved that they showed the roller derby Harley.
Yeah,
you really don't see that,
which is in the comics.
That was fun. I loved all the different comic book callbacks that they had. They had like the old school style, like the Mad Love style, those kind of little references, and they had the New 52 style referenced, and they had they kind of took more of the New 52 storyline.
Costume is bulletproof.
Yeah,
that was cool.
So stuff like that was super fun, and I loved that. It's like you said, it's the rest of the Birds of Prey that were kind of like. Yeah.
Like I said in the beginning, this movie should have been called
Harley
The Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. And the Birds of Prey.
And some of the Birds of Prey.
Yeah. So yeah, our rating is better on Death Sticks, which is enjoyable. But hey, if you're drinking or whatever you're doing during the movie, you're gonna enjoy it even more. So, yeah.
Exactly.
So that's what we gave that one. So it's a nice middle ground.
Good movie, not like amazing.
Better than any other DC.
Yeah, because Suicide Squad. If we'd been around for that.
Sorry. Bantha fodder. Oh yeah, all the way. Except for Harley Quinn and Deadshot. So not all the way, about 80% of the way. But yeah. And I was not a fan of Batman v Superman either. And Justice League was a big letdown. I think that they could have done way better. And
so I mean, definitely best team up movie.
Oh yeah, best team up movie. And excited to see where they go next with it. And super excited for Wonder Woman to come out this year. So good things for the DCEU this year. Hopefully, a kind of abrupt ending, but because it's kind of all we're already got nothing else to talk about. We're just gonna go down the rabbit hole to DCEU, and that's not what you're here for. If you want that video, let us know below. We'll make a video about that. So we can rank this DCEU movies. Should be fun. And we can do the ranking of a Marvel movies. That would be really hard. And I don't think I can do that.
So many of those.
Yeah,
too.
I don't know how I would even do that one.
More of those.
I know I wouldn't put Endgame as number 1 though. But anyways, that's another list. So until next time, may the films be with you.